right. Welcome to episode 139 of Live Drawing. Amazing we've done this many episodes, but we're going to keep on going. So, just like the title says, this is the road to the Little Giant old school comic show. I'm going to be there this weekend, set up with my artwork, books that I've done. I'm going to bring preview stuff for Undersea Hero, so in case any backers from the Kickstarter are there, they can check out some of the original pages. I'm going to try to have everything in order. We've got 6 pages to go. We're going to be working on page 51. We'll probably finish that tonight. I'll show you where we're at. Let's see, we're inking. We've got to ink the correlator ship here that's starting to fall apart. And then we've got to ink the rest of this panel here, and then this panel here. And that's probably what we'll work on. These are just a couple of sketch covers I did on lunch breaks this week. People always ask for the tick because obviously I worked on the tick for, over 10 years. I'm going to have, these are the Baltimore Comic-Con exclusives that we did last year. And I'm the only person you can get them from at this point now. And it contains the newest tick story that I worked on with Jeff McClellan and Benito Sereno, who worked on Invincible. They've got the Dwayne Redhead cover, and then on the back it's a blank sketch cover. So it's on really good material. So I did just a Tick and Arthur so that it'll be there ready so somebody doesn't have to wait. And then I just felt like drawing my old character Helena just for fun. I could draw her any day, killing monsters, doing whatever. But those will both be at the show on Saturday. So you can say there's something new at the booth. One of the things I love about this show is that there are so many great artists that will be there. It's truly a celebration of comics, the art form, and the creators and the terrific vendors that are there. It's a great one-day show. And honestly, I've said it a million times that if I was not an artist there, I would go there just to hang out and shop. But because there's going to be artists there, I'm going to bring some books to get signed. This is the 2001 Space Odyssey comic that Jack Kirby did back in the 70s. And if you've never read these, they're terrific. This is where Machine Man, Marvel's Machine Man, started, was in 2001. And you're going to ask, why would you get a Jack Kirby comic? Why would you bring that? He passed away. That's true. But the gentleman who did the letters and the inking for all these, this amazing title, one of the best inkers ever to work with Jack, will be at the Old School Comic Show. And this is early Machine Man stuff. So that's where I will bring that with me and see if Mr. Royer will sign that for me. Keith Williams, this was one of those comics I bought off of the drugstore rack when I was a kid. He's an inker, primarily. He also penciled and inked there's Keith Williams right there. He also was the pencil and inker on the Phantom daily strips for years. So I actually have one that I got at a New York Comic-Con. Was it New York or Baltimore? I don't remember. But yeah, I'm going to take that and see if he'll sign it for me. And then the last one I've set aside, Rick Parker's going to be there. I'm probably going to bring an issue of What If. But Al Milgrom, who took over Captain Marvel shortly after he was inking for Jim Starlin. Let's see, Al Milgrom penciled it, and it's inked by Terry Austin, which is very cool. Because at this time, Terry was like the premier inker. Excuse me. Hey, Martha's. Yeah, tonight I will be inking this one. We'll try to, because I think I can get this done tonight. If we get done early, I showed off that sketch cover I started. where it's a sketch cover of Usagi and TMNT, and I actually got to draw a Usagi variant cover when it came over to IDW, and so I've actually drawn, obviously Ninja Turtles and Usagi before, so I'll try to get this done before the show. No guarantees, just because it's 2 full figures and I've got other work to do. I just noodle on this when I'm, like, eating breakfast. But yeah, we got our tools ready. Oh yeah, Meteor Man ad. Yeah, those '90s comics, like that was one I literally picked up that comic at the drugstore. So like, anytime I can meet folks and see folks that worked on that stuff when I was a kid, it's always special to me. I'm sorry if my talking's a little off. I had some dental work done yesterday, so I'm still a little sore. Hey Caleb, how are you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, Usagi, like he's such a Stan. If you ever get to meet Stan Sakai, the creator of Usagi, he is genuinely a wonderfully kind person, and he has done so much incredible work on the series for so long. It is such a it is a just monumentally amazing piece of work, and I actually have the trade sitting over here somewhere. It's one of those books. If you've never read it, start anywhere. Like just pick them up. I think I had to order the trade online because I think they're out of print. But they've done numerous printings, and it's you can find it for a fair price. Yeah, I really like drawing that cover, and the fact that he gave us permission to put the Tick on it. It's the only time that the Tick and Usagi have ever appeared together. I would. I actually remember when I saw Stan at the convention after it came out. We got a picture together. He signed the original for me. Um, I can turn on the chat overlay so people can see it now. It's kind of sad turning on a chat overlay with no comments in it, so I wait till people say some things and then I can turn it on. I'm gonna move my tea over into this dead area. But yeah, now you can see. Yeah, the Little Giant Show up in Concord is awesome. Like I love one day comic shows. I really do. I just think that I still have a weekend. I know that that's crazy to say. Like I can still get some stuff done. I can do some work. I can, get my chores done. As fun and as cool as some of the bigger shows can be, especially as I've gotten older, they're just overwhelming and they wear me down. Like I get wore out from doing them. And like a one-day show with awesome vendors and terrific artists like Joe St. Pierre, my buddy's going to be there, and Chris Campana, who's I've known for many years. He is currently working over at DC and Marvel. He's done Ghost Rider, he's done Spider-Man, he's done Red Goblin, Ghost Rider. Yeah, he's done all sorts of books there. He's got a Green Lantern variant coming out. It's his first DC work. And Joe St. Pierre, like he co-created, he created Secret Weapons, the book for Valiant Comics, and people would not rather see my tea. It's just it's a nice herbal tea with a little bit of honey, so that I don't completely lose my voice. I started drinking more tea, just in general. Everybody doing good tonight? Oh, thank you. Yes, it's my Turtle Power Mug, as I call it. It's got the classic logo on one side. Don't want to spill on it. And then I've got the forehead on the other. Jay Kennedy will be at Little Giant Comic Show this weekend doing sketches. I was just going through the list of who was going to be there, Jay. If you want to hop on and plug it, I'll send you the link. You can hop on and plug whatever you want for the show. I know you've got Martha says turmeric is good too. Try it. Yeah, you want to hop on real quick, Jay? I'm getting better at this. Thanks to Allison, she's able to give me all the tips. She's like a good tech person and explainer of things. I can hear Bruce yelling from the other room. My buddy Jay, who's going to be there, is actually, he's worked on Archie. He's been done image stuff. His stuff's appeared in Image Comics. I'm trying to remember all the Archie books he did. He's done Sabrina. He's done all kinds of stuff. One of the camp books, one of the newer books he did too. Camp Nowhere? I don't remember. Sorry, Jay, I don't remember the other one. Forgive me. But he was in, his work appeared in The Ant, which was being done by Eric Larson at the time. I know he did that one. And we did all the crazy AR Comics books together. I think we'll be able to get this thing done tonight. That would be a good win leading into the show, so I can bring a brand new finished page with me for people to check out. I did have someone ask me, and I misunderstood the question. I thought that they were inquiring about buying the Ninja Turtles piece we worked on together. They just wanted to see it. If people just want to see something, I'm happy to bring it along. I don't think the person who it's for would mind if people got to check it out. After all, we did work on it for several streams together. Oh, here's Jay Kennedy, a very special guest who will be joining us here in a second. Let me just flip this switch. Sure how to do this. Let me turn off the chat overlay because we don't need that. And there he is with his patented Guinness glass. Here he is, Jay Kennedy.
Cheers, everybody. How are you? How's it going?
I think everybody's doing pretty well.
Good, good, super good. What's going on, eh?
Working on a page and getting ready for this show this weekend as best I can. Looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, me too, me too. This has been a while since we've had a friggin' show. I tell you.
Yeah. You bringing
Yeah,
anything
I'm a,
for anybody to sign or anything?
I'm not so super sure at the moment. I gotta tell you, I'm not great at this time. I'm downing like Trump at this moment.
Well, the guy that lettered
I'm
like a million,
yeah.
the guy that lettered like a million issues of Spider-Man, and Rick Parker will be there, so I'm sure you'll be able to find something
Yes, right. I'm sure.
out of
I
your
do love
giant.
the workhorse guys.
Which guys?
The workhorse ones. You know, the guys that are like in 1,000 books.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The ones that don't get as much credit or whatnot.
Yeah, and he also drew. He did like the some of the funnier stuff, like the Beavis and Butthead comics, and like what
Oh
the
yeah.
some of the like the Star comics. I think were stuff that he
Did
drew,
he?
like Alf.
Did
You
he
could
do?
get.
Did he do? Oh my God, what was it? Ren and Stimpy.
I don't know if he did. I'd have to look that one up. You could just check it out. I'm sure you could just Google it, but the
Yeah, right, right.
that one I'm not sure of. I maybe he did the
Yeah.
Muppet. I know he did Alf. I think he did the Muppets.
Dennis the Menace.
Maybe.
Geez, I mean, we're going into the deep sessions at this moment.
We are. This is like the deep recesses of dollar bins from 15 years ago.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
Although
Yeah, right.
I was just at New England Comics, and the dollar bins had some good stuff in them. I won't lie. Good old stuff.
I hear you. Uh, are you doing them for Free Comic Book Day?
I'll be at the other NEC. I'll be at the one in Brockton.
I see. I see. I got
Yeah.
to reach out to Tom and I got
I
to
think
reach out to Tom and see.
well, I think Doreen mentioned that they're going to be looking for people since I won't be there. So hit them up. I'm sure.
Right, right. Now, I know this isn't exactly the right place for this conversation, but I got to tell you honestly. I mean, I don't care who hears it. So I'm working on a superhero comic, right? I know I mentioned it to you before.
Oh yeah, the '90s one.
Yeah, the '90s one, and like I'm doing flats right now.
Yeah.
You people, you can see it on my Facebook feed. This isn't a secret, but I'm kind of running into a problem with some of my flats. Not
Okay.
flats, but not the flat, obviously, but the end result. I'm not super satisfied with.
So the
You know what I'm
finish.
saying? Say what?
The finish.
Yes, the finish. My attempt at the finish isn't coming out the way that I wanted to.
Okay.
So I need to kind of pick somebody else's brain. You know what you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like what I was
Right.
actually curious because I saw some of the pages you posted. What are you looking to have it finished looking like it was made in the '90s, or what are you going for?
You know, I gotta tell you, I was just kind of improving with some of those pages, like
Yeah.
seeing what felt right and then not feeling right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, that's a crappy feeling. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Hmm.
That's the issue. So like I need to kind of take a step backwards and kind of rework it a little bit
Yeah.
with a fresh pair of eyes on it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at on that project.
Yeah. I
We
mean, if
can
I
kind of cut it up.
yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest recommendation would be just to look at some stuff that you do like and see if there's anything that you're picturing in your head, try to pull some of that reference, and don't copy it. Just look for it for inspiration.
Yeah, I was kind of doing that for a minute. I could tell you what book I was pulling, but
Strike Force. It was Strike Force.
yeah, it was Bloodstrike. Oh, are you making fun of me, you bastard?
I'm not making fun of you. It's obvious what it was. It was not a
Mhm.
secret.
Yeah, right.
You're wearing your
It's just
influences on your sleeve there.
I'm a sucker for any comic with blood in the title.
I think. Are you looking? And here, this is another question because obviously, like in that stuff, there were two shifts in the way that they colored their books. For people that don't know, when Image first started, they were going with like classic coloring techniques, kind of, and burgeoning onto like Todd McFarlane was the first one to use like Ole Optics, which was Steve Olaf's company, and that was they actually had like kind of the beginnings of digital coloring, but like the first Youngblood comic was colored as we would say traditionally with dyes.
Traditionally.
Yeah. So and like some of the other early Image books were too. The first Spawn cover is actually painted by an artist named Ken Steacy, who did work on books like those Eclipse mystery anthologies and sci-fi anthologies in the 80s. He did a bunch of those. He colored the Space Ghost comic in the 80s that Steve Rude did. That was another great one.
Oh, that is a fantastic book. If whoever has that book, hit me up. That is a great book.
Yeah, I mean, if that's and I'm trying to think of the other early Extreme and Image books, like because was like the beginning of that digital revolution, and then by the time Top Cow came around with like Witchblade, they were doing like the
Yeah,
full on digital painterly look. So
it's hard to really pull from that time frame because so much was changing so fast.
it really was, and you could see them learning like on the job. Like if you look at some of
Yeah,
those early digital coloring jobs, some of them are like really hard to look at now because of how far the technology has come. But at the time, it was cutting edge.
yeah, right. But like month to month, a book could look radically different color wise.
Yeah,
Hell,
yeah,
page to page, even.
yeah. I
You know,
mean, because you could see where the jumping off point was from, like those X Force books, like the first handful. What was the name of
yep.
the colorist that switched over? Was it Murray?
Uh,
Brian Murray, was he the colorist?
I'm not super great at that type of trivia. I gotta tell you.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm just.
that's
There's
okay.
so many people working on books at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're just talking through it.
Yeah, right. The long and short end is like I'm satisfied with the inks. I like what I'm looking at.
Yeah, the
It's just
layouts look good.
yeah, there's just some transition going wrong between flats and what I'm going for.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know what the finish is supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, if you want me to mess around with one, I can mess around with one.
Yeah.
Jonathan says, "Do Jay in the house." Jonathan Brown, whom you know.
Oh, yeah, of course. Hey, John, what's up, bud? What's going on? Is Ashley still on, or are we? Am I with? Is she here or no?
Uh, Allison? No, she's not on tonight.
Yeah. Oh, jeepers.
She was on last
My
night
my. Oh, right.
or last Wednesday.
I watched. Oh, that's right. I watched her last week, didn't I? What was she drawing there?
She was working on a page for her new book that she's been working on.
Yeah, right. I'm
She's
gonna.
she's she said she's gonna try to pop in at a Little Giants show. So
I thought you two would be driving down like last year.
no, we didn't drive together. It was and this year it's a little different just with my work schedule. I gotta go straight.
Oh,
I'm going Friday night. So
okay.
yeah.
I see what you did. Yeah, right. Oh shit. Getting a. I
I
jump
see.
at every text now.
I see more. We've discussed doing our own show like this. So if you want to hear more of Jay and Ian just ramble about stuff and maybe go on wild tangents about Marvel Comics Presents issues that no one remembers, Oh, you remember that issue? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one where Eric Larson did Excalibur shorts.
I picked up a Venom issue with a cover that he did today. Mary Jane Watson is now Venom.
Hey.
I like it. 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 I'm not lying.
We've reached the point in this in the Spider-Man mythos and the symbiotes that everybody gets a turn.
Everybody gets a turn is right. Goddamn right. If I ever get a chance to write for it, if I ever get a chance to write for Spider-Man, Venom's just gonna be me.
No, you're gonna go. You'll go full meta, and Venom will venomize the creators while they're working on the book.
That's right, like what they used to do back in the 80s. Marvel was just following Spider-Man around.
What do you have to say, writer of this book? I don't know. I just came back from a liquid lunch. It's the 70s.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
And then Stan just walks through the next panel. Okay, true believers, back to the story.
I know that shit's corny as fuck, and it doesn't work anymore, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's the Impossible Man issue of the Fantastic Four that had George Perez in it and Marv Wolfman, and
yeah, right.
There's a long tradition of that.
I like it when the artist kind of personalizes it. Kind of. I miss that a little bit because everything feels so homogenized now to a certain degree. But here I am complaining like an old fuck reading comics. You know what I mean?
Everyone gets a turn, Jay.
Yeah, everybody gets a turn. Everybody becomes the god at some point. What do you read?
When comics become T-ball, everyone gets to bat.
That's right. What are you reading these days? Are you sticking with Conan at all, or that?
I've
enjoyed that.
I keep up with it mostly. They've had a couple of artists on that I'm not crazy about, but then there was an issue that Danica Bryan drew that was awesome, and I did pick up the new. I haven't read it yet, though. The Pat Zurcher, Solomon Kane issue 1 that just came out. That looks very good.
Ooh, I missed that. Is that by the same company that's doing Conan?
Yeah, and he kind of just picks up where he was in the Savage Sword book. He's been doing a good job on the shorts in there, and like he's writing, drawing, and doing the coloring too. So
Savage Sword has gotten better.
Look,
that first issue.
Jonathan has a question. He asks, "Is that the 4th Venom? I mean, at least, right?"
Do I really have to go through every Venom off the top of my head?
There was Eddie Brock, and there was Flash Thompson. And I don't even read Spider-Man, and these are like...
Yeah, there's Flash Thompson. You need to go into She-Venom. She killed herself.
Wasn't her name Shriek or something? No.
No. There was literally a She-Venom. I swear to God. I don't want to have this conversation. I really don't.
Are we going to talk about all of the symbiotes? Because we'll have to phone a friend and call St. Pierre for that one, I think.
No, we're not getting into Marvel trying to sell action figures.
What was that video game? Separation Anxiety?
Oh, God. Yeah, dude.
How about we?
I felt. Picked up a Venom comic and read it today.
I mean, but he's still so popular. Like, and that's kind of amazing to me.
Is there anything more than just a look to that character? I don't know.
I think there is a perceived, like there's an easy story that's easy, especially with the naivete, to perceive as having some sort of character depth. But I've never thought of it as much. Like, I don't know.
I don't want to sound like a fucking snood. Like, I know better. But, like, even me as a kid was like, he's just a cool monster. That's it. There's nothing more
Well,
to it.
and they tried to add all the like, well, he's an anti-hero and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I understand it's simpler, but I did enjoy him as the like incalculable, unpredictable heavy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's something enjoyable about him as a villain, or even as a hero.
Because like, not every villain has to be an anti-hero.
No, right.
Jonathan says
I just
Scorpion
don't.
was at some point Venom, right? Question mark.
Oh God, was he?
Was he? I
Let
expect
me.
you to know these things, Jay.
Sorry, I find the monster so bland sometimes. I can't remember every fucking incarnation of Venom. Let me see.
Hey,
Let me think this out.
when we're asking about random trivia about the X-Men, we know you're going to be relying on me. Spider-Man, it's you, buddy.
Oh God. Yeah, but like they change this crap up every few months to keep this thing going.
Why
Okay,
was it?
so let me think. Obviously, it's Peter Parker.
You consider Peter Parker
Obviously,
as
it's Eddie
Venom?
Brock.
Whoa! You consider Peter Parker's time with the symbiote Venom?
Just go with me here. Um, Scorpion, sure. Flash Thompson.
I remember that because that was Rick Remender writing it, I think.
Right.
He's a good writer.
I'm going through my long box here. Which one was this?
He's gonna pick up one of these books and be like, "God, I don't want to remember," and then he holds it, and it like is a
Yeah, I'm doing that
flashback.
now. Who is this? Who the fuck is this? Volume 3, Lee Price. I don't remember who this character is. He looks like Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock Light.
The alien. Say what?
Eddie Brock Light.
Yeah, basically.
I didn't read any of
During
those.
Secret Wars, there was a Skrull Venom that was literally Venom, but a Skrull. I mean, are we just talking about the suit now?
I don't know.
Yeah, then we're going.
You included
See,
Peter Parker, and that's an interesting
I
distinction.
I did. Eddie Brock's brother. I don't remember his name. I'm not getting into that.
Eddie Brock's brother. His brother's
Yeah,
name was
really.
his brother's name was Fletch. We'll just call him Fletch. Fletch Brock.
You want me to look it up? Again, She Venom was a thing.
What was the cousin in the what was it, Brady Bunch or the Partridge Family that was
Cousin
considered
Oliver? Cousin Oliver.
It's the cousin Oliver of Venom, yes.
God. Another alien. I don't remember what the hell this is.
This is also why our if we do this as a regular thing, we'll have it on later because there will be, as you can tell, more profanity.
Yeah, really.
In my usual.
Robbie Robinson's wife was Venom at one time.
Wow. Digging deep.
Are we getting into like who got the black costume at some point or another?
I don't know. I always like Robbie Robertson
No.
as a character, though.
Yeah, right. But his wife?
I honestly don't even know who
Patricia
that
Robinson?
is. Mrs. Robinson?
Yeah, right. Cuckoo Cuckoo.
If someone asked me what her name was, that would be my answer because I have no idea.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like, you're right. Everybody gets a turn at the softball.
Whose turn
Everybody
is it?
takes a swing. Patricia Robinson's going to be Venom for 6 weeks. The thing that drives me nuts at the comic store, I buy comics early on Wednesday. The thing that drives me friggin' bonkers is there's already the chuds complaining about Mary Jane Watson being Venom.
There it is,
Like,
Jonathan.
how
Where Marvel, where we stopped coming up with original ideas years ago.
like how could you possibly care who Venom is today? You're
I mean,
an adult.
one thing I was thinking about the other day, and while because everybody's been talking about with the anniversary and stuff of Image Comics and everything going on, and the creators
Mhm.
that formed it and everything. While that is a huge monumental thing, the I mean, how can we not look back and say one of the reasons we have all these reboots regularly was because of how wildly successful those reboots were? So, like, they kind of started the reboot thing before going and forming their own company, like the X-Force,
Yeah,
X-Men, New Mutants, and they did the Spider-Man one, and then they did all kinds of then they did Heroes Reborn, and then they did Heroes Return. They put John Byrne on Spider-Man, and like they had all those reboots that happened shortly thereafter, and it only gained momentum.
you're right. I I don't know. I don't know how much of a comment I have on that. I got to tell you honestly.
It's all right. It
It,
was something I was thinking about the other day because like while Image like really helped creators have probably the best deal in entertainment, like it also came out when they left those mainstream companies
but
with
here's
them
one thing
thinking
though.
that with them thinking that the reboot of the putting the character first instead of the talent, and thinking that the reboot of just the character would be enough to make enough money. And I don't know, it's a different tactic than what they were doing prior to that, where they would put big name creators in the middle of a run on a random book, and it would go from being
Yeah, right.
a book nobody cared about to being like, oh man, did you see that George Perez is on this book, or did you see that Buscema is doing Wolverine now, or did you see, there was and it didn't have to be an issue one,
I mean, they did.
like Walt. What issue did Walt Simonson take over on X Factor? Like that wasn't an issue one. He hopped on after the first 12 issues
Thank
or
God
so.
you weren't asking me.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like you think that
You know,
nowadays, or even not even nowadays, even 15 years ago, they would have been like, we've got Walt Simonson, one of the best to ever do it, coming on this book. We're going to start it over again.
look at look at how many good teams were on the New Mutants run.
Oh, I was just reading a Brett Blevins issue the other day. It's fantastic.
So many good friggin' teams on that book alone. It, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. That's a good question. I'm not the one to I'm not the one to approach it. Believe me.
I was actually thinking about like what are in recent years, what was like, and they're not even that recent, like what were books where they didn't reboot it? And one of them they just did with the new Batman Hush. They didn't do Batman Hush #1. The Hush 2 they're doing
It's
right
not.
now, it's not a number
Yeah, yeah,
one, and that's
yeah.
probably the biggest one now. The last one I remembered before that was the Pacheco Busiek Superman from like 2007.
Hmm.
And it was just in the middle of the run. Like there was no reboot whatsoever. Like
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I am not sure.
yeah,
That's too dense for me, brother. Too dense for me.
we go into the
So,
minutia
Little
here.
Giant. What's your plan for Little Giants this weekend? Anything fun? Like, are you?
Uh, I'll have those couple of new sketch covers that I showed off earlier on the show, and I'll be sketching at the show, and I'll have the Baltimore tick exclusive. This will be the first show that it's available at since Baltimore. I'll have Ninja Turtle books. I'll have all kinds of the regular stuff, but and I'll bring some of the pages for in case any of the Kickstarter backers want to check out where we're at on Undersea Hero, and see some
Sweet, sweet.
originals. I've only got 6 pages to go on the line art, and then we're off to the
Oh,
races on the
oh,
colors.
terrifying.
I cannot tell you how happy I will be when these are off to the
You
printer.
put so much fucking time into that book. It's insane.
Hey,
And
it's
if anybody doesn't know, real quick, Ian's been talking about this thing for over a decade. Over a decade now.
well, and when I finish it, I actually have kept a list of all the jobs I've turned down while working on this, and everyone who's going to see this list is going to say I'm a crazy person. Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you that now.
yeah.
I think you mentioned one or two of them.
Hey, Eric, yeah, I'll have the Undersea issue 0 with me, which is the blank sketch cover, and I actually I have a few copies left of the Ninja Turtles cover that I did with Chris Campana, who will also be there if you wanted to get it dual signed.
Oh,
I don't have any TMNT Universe; those all sold ages ago. I do have
was he in that?
TMNT Universe. Craig did an issue. I don't know if he'll have copies with him, but I grabbed some stuff from storage if we want to look at that stuff. This was actually my first published Tick cover. This was from 2016 Boston Comic Con. The story of this cover is very long, and it would kind of is a microcosm for what would lead it to many other things. More Tick stuff. A couple of the rare sketch covers. This is a not numbered San Diego 50th anniversary. And there's one from New York Comic Con. There's a G.I. Joe cover I worked on. Yeah, here's the one from that Chris Campana penciled and I inked and colored. And actually, this was his first IDW work. He just did a Green Lantern cover, and he's been doing Spider-Man and Red Goblin and all sorts of stuff. So I'll have those. I did find a few copies of I only have a few of these left, the 51. Lots of Tick stuff, because obviously, like, I did that forever.
Ian.
Free Comic Day stuff. Hey, there's that Space Coast comic. I did not work on that. I did not work on that. I just love it.
I love it too. There's your answer for your last question. Who jumped into a run and did a good job on it? Chris Campana. He pitched in and he did some good work.
It's not just about jumping in on a run. It's like also the big hype machine. You know, like when when they put it on, when you're seeing ads for it and everything. Like,
yeah.
The cover I've seen the most lately of Campana stuff is that Green Lantern one, but you know, he's done a million pages at this point. I do have a copy of his Ghost Rider that I might bring with me.
I got him to sign in Boston. Oh, I'm gonna have to draw him something extra special this time around.
I hope we're thinking the same thing right now.
I don't know if we are.
I don't know exactly what it is, but is it in keeping with the tradition that you've held for many years?
A homoerotic He-Man sketch? Of course.
I was just going to say Masters of the Universe, Jay Kennedy style, but however you want
to
describe.
I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. For some reason, every time I run into Chris Campana,
he draws a character from his favorite show and makes it like overtly sexual.
I forced it on him. I forced it.
We're gonna have to put the red band from trailers at the beginning of this episode, I think.
Oh yeah, this is flying off it. This started to crash and burn when I was bringing up She-Venom.
Yeah.
The female Venom.
Martha says cool monsters are most of their OCs. Yeah,
When,
monsters are just fun to draw.
yeah, right.
I think Jay would agree.
I absolutely agree. Oh, I'm sorry. Is he supposed to have a smart backstory? No. Get out of here. He's just a guy that hits Peter Parker.
It's okay to just
What
have a
was the
monster.
Why was he so pissed off at Peter Parker? He took the last parking space in Midtown. Of course he's going to be angry.
What was the retcon that they did? I don't remember if it was in the it wasn't in the comic book, but in the cartoon show they made Eddie Brock into the like rival photographer.
I think that was still there in the comic.
Was it? Was that canon?
I think so. God, dude, I can't remember friggin' Venom comics from like 35 years ago.
I'm so
I
mad
don't
at
want
him.
to open them up.
I'm so mad at him. He has a better lens than me.
Yeah, right. Oh God.
Look at him. He got the new
Yeah.
Nikon. It turns into just this like jealous minutia rage, and then he ends up doing like a bunch of steroids, weightlifting, and writes his name on the wall and hates him the rest of his life.
Yeah, that was Todd McFarlane's crazy shit, though. Like Todd McFarlane was just doing that stuff.
Well, speaking of Venom, David Michelinie, the writer and co-creator of Venom, will be at the Little Giants show.
Oh snap!
See, brought it back full circle. Full circle. That's what they call a callback in the show
That's
businesses.
right.
It's almost like we know what we're doing, Jay.
Almost. All right. Let me flip through here. Spider-Man 300. Here we go. What the hell was Venom so angry about?
He's just in there. He's just in there doing push-ups, swearing about pictures that they couldn't take.
Yeah, right. Let's see.
JJ keeps saying he hates Peter's pictures, but he keeps paying him.
If you don't have issue 300, it's one of the great comics. Let me tell you.
I've never actually owned an original copy. I have only ever had a reprint. Because I wasn't, like we've talked about, I was not the Spider-Man guy, so like I wouldn't pick.
Right.
If I could only buy 2 comics, I was buying X-Men, and then back then it was usually Marvel Comics Presents, you know?
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
You could ask Siri, why does Peter Parker, why does Eddie Brock hate Peter Parker in the comics, not the movies?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He was a reporter too. Yeah, it was just. Yeah. It's just that Peter Parker was slightly better at being a bullshit worker than Eddie Brock.
I've only seen the first Venom movie. I haven't seen the others. I really didn't enjoy it, so I didn't feel like diving into the rest.
Oh, well, the lore really picks up in the second one.
Well, you know, and I can't skip to the third one because I'm sure the plot I'd just be lost.
You would lose the plot entirely.
Yep.
I mean, come on. I mean,
imagine watching just the last episode of MASH.
Yeah, right. I mean, well, I can tell you how it ends. Sam goes to the light switch and he tells somebody we're closed. And that's how Venom ends.
That's how it ends. Mayday Malone turns out the lights.
We never know who that last customer was going to be. Was it going to be Kristen Brinkley? We may never know. Was that right?
I mean, they brought back Frasier, so at this point, like, how have they not considered being like, could we get Cheers back?
God, was it? Is there, honestly? You're the bigger Cheers person than me. Is there like a missing story arc that needs to be fulfilled in Cheers? Like 40 years later.
Um, I mean, the only thing that was kind of left open was whether or not Sam would own the bar at some point,
Right, right.
because I
I
think
mean,
that, you know, because after when Diane left and it was Kirstie Alley's character, like she was just the manager, and there was the restaurant upstairs, and part of the gags was that people would go upstairs to eat.
yeah. I, I gotta wonder if this is this interesting to anyone? Are we just talking to each other? We're talking
Yeah,
about like a 4-year-old sitcom now.
yeah, that's fine.
No, it's absolutely fine. I don't care. I don't care if no one's listening to this.
I mean, I'm still watching the news. If we need to talk about new stuff, I'm still watching the new Star Trek. I'm watching the what is it, The Pit, the new Noah Wiley show.
Is that any good?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Mm.
It's like your classic doctor procedural television show. They've been doing those since TV existed. So,
Oh yeah. You
do you
know,
concur, Jay?
I do. But like, kind of funny. I had a dermatologist appointment a few days ago, and I was making small talk while she was looking at my dick, and it, I was asking like, "What do you watch for fun?" And she's talking about like watching Friends and fucking Parks and Rec and all that shit, right?
I mean, Parks and Rec's a
And
good
like,
show. I mean,
Parks and Rec is amazing, Eh, or The Office. And I'm like, God, can you imagine being stuck watching a show for like 20 years? You know all the jokes. Meanwhile, here I am watching The Simpsons and Curb Your Enthusiasm, doing the same thing that I'm judging her on. You know,
we're
what
all
are,
just trying to get through the day, man.
we're all just trying to make the pain stop.
I call those shows brain smoothing shows. They just you can.
Yeah,
It's like comfort food.
exactly. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's shows that I judge people for watching, but those I would not put those on the list.
No, no. Like for some reason, I feel like we have nothing to feel superior about.
Oh, not at all.
We
No.
had a conversation about Venom's origin.
I was considering writing a blog post about like what it was like before streaming to be into genre fiction. Like I used to have to go to several different rental movie places in order to get like, let's say you wanted to watch one week, you wanted to watch even the Tim Burton Batman movie. Like that was available at most rental places. But if you wanted to watch like, I don't know, pick a science fiction movie that was slightly harder to find. Like you would have to seek
Uh,
this stuff out. Like back in the day, it was hard to find this stuff. Like I remember the first time I walked down an aisle and I saw that this one place had like that I didn't even know it existed. Like they made a movie of the Punisher.
well, like
Such as it
for
was.
me, yeah, right, right. I, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. I
It, it
mean,
it was a lot harder to find this stuff, back in the day. Nowadays, like it's pirated on YouTube or it's like it's around. You can just find it on different streaming platforms. But like back in the day, it was tough. Like to find stuff like with superheroes in it or just, like anything other than the big studio movies. Like sure, if you wanted to
yeah,
rent,
right.
Jurassic Park or whatever, like yeah, Steven Spielberg, Universal Studios, you're gonna be able to find that anywhere.
Yeah, but like
But if you want to see J.D. Salinger's kid as Captain America in the 1990 Canon Films adaptation, you got to dig for that.
well, like I don't know. I don't know. Like it was a little different for me because I living in the city, you could literally walk to like 3 different rental shops. You know what I mean?
Well, we had three in town, but you did have to drive to them. So
Right.
Even
But
on the
like,
island on Nantucket, there were two different ones, and they both had very different collections, other than like the most popular blockbusters or Oscar
so
winners.
I didn't really get to see like really wacky or really weird shit till like Mystery Science Theater started to pick up.
Oh, I mean that was such a pivotal show, like
Oh
on.
yeah, big time. Because you're not gonna watch
You're not going to find a copy
slave
of.
women from the stars.
You're not going to find Puma Man at Blockbuster Video.
No, fuck no, fuck no.
Puma
But on a
Man.
Saturday night, you got nothing else to do. Fuck yeah.
I mean, for those that have seen it, are going to understand this quote: "Puma Man, Puma Man, Puma Man."
Yeah, dude. God, Mystery Science Theater was such a fucking big deal back in the
It was
90s.
important for people to just like discover these films that exist. I read an article about an actress who she did nothing but like B horror movies in the 80s and C-level stuff. And like none of her movies that she worked on ever got transferred to DVD even. So like they just don't
Yeah,
exist
right.
anywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a ton of movies just like that.
Martha said
I
you had to
mean,
sit through a PBS fun drive if you wanted to watch Doctor Who. It's true. It's so true.
oh man,
You had to make it through
PBS was
sweeps.
different in the 90s too.
You had to make it through sweeps week on PBS to watch Tom Baker with the giant scarf.
Oh man, that.
And
Oh
I'm
god,
not a Whovian, but my brother watched it when we were kids.
what the? Oh,
The original
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who stuff, yeah. Yeah, my brother
Oh
liked it.
yeah. That I feel like that's almost too British for me, to be honest with you. I have a limit for that shit. Oh, we could go anywhere in time and space in a fucking phone. Get the fuck out of here.
I think
I'm not interested
the beer
about.
is taking hold, the Jay.
Not just where, when. Shut up, Doctor Who. I'm switching out to whiskey.
But again, that's another one of those I can appreciate, like the again, like Martha said, it was hard to find. So like I can see why people have like this impassioned relationship with it. And like the nostalgia is really strong.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I'd ever want to go back to. I want to go to Blockbuster Video.
No, I don't need that either, but it's I don't have a nostalgia for the act of doing it. I just have a different perspective for how I relate with certain bits of pieces of media. Like when you just
Oh
watch
yeah,
like a crummy superhero movie that you just Google and it pops up immediately and you have everything, just right there. Like you don't have the journey to find it as any sort of weight in that you've already put into the relationship with this media.
I get what you're saying, but like that is so much work and effort to get to
How many
something.
Look, how many comic conventions did we sit across from the bootleg DVD guy and we had to listen to, the Star Wars Christmas special over and over again? Like, because bootleg DVD guy knew 20 nerds have never seen this and they're going to give me the $40. Because back in the day, even the bootleg DVDs were expensive. You could buy the
Yep.
bootleg VHS at that table for like $9.99. But if you wanted the DVD back in the day, it was expensive.
Hey, yeah, I definitely have the Star Wars holiday special on DVD. I'm the sucker that bought that shit. You kidding me?
Hey, I've got the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Surely.
That
I
was
mean,
like that was one of those
I just don't know how much.
that movie had like mythical status just because it didn't ever come out. But on like some random VHS movies, and I've been trying to figure out which movies they were. The trailer was released on VHS, like on these movies that came out.
I,
And I want to say one of them was a Bill Murray movie, and I can't remember.
Bill Murray. Uh,
A
A Bill
VHS
Murray movie that you don't know?
I think it was Scrooged, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that because at the beginning of VHS, just like at the movie theater, you don't just start into the movie like chapter one, like on a DVD or streaming. They would play even not just commercials sometimes, but trailers. Sometimes there'd be like a message from the cast or somebody. There was all
Oh
kinds of
yeah.
random stuff that would end up on these things. I remember one of the versions of Star Wars was introduced by George Lucas on
Here's a good.
VHS.
Oh my god! I just had. Okay, this is like in depth kind of nerd shit. Um, in the UK, when they premiered Star Wars, they had a mini movie before it. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember. I think it was called it was a night. It was actually awesome. It was absolutely amazing. It was like one of those early '80s fantasy movies, but it was only like 15 minutes long.
Oh, there were so many good ones back in the day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't believe I saw Death Stalker. I could have sworn I've seen that movie.
Yeah, but like Excalibur was awesome. Like there were so many good '80s fantasy movies that were.
Oh yeah.
I mean, do we have to talk about Krull for an entire episode of our podcast? We might. We might.
Oh, that's gonna be an entire episode. That's gonna be an entire
Well,
friggin'
because we could
episode.
also talk about the Marvel Comics adaptation that was drawn by Brett Blevins.
You're gonna pull it. You're gonna pull it out of me that I effing love Krull.
Krull is awesome.
Unironically,
Yeah.
it is fucking awesome. It's awesome, and people don't realize how good it is.
Look, I mean, the movie's it's got early Liam Neeson. You have the glaive. You have like the big monster, the big sets. Like it was a very ambitious movie, and especially without the weight of like the context of when it came out. We don't have that. Like I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on VHS in high school, and I was like, this movie rules.
Okay, I found the movie that I was thinking about. 1980 British fantasy movie. It's called Black Angel
Oh, okay. I don't know that one.
from 1980. No, you wouldn't. It was only in the UK,
Oh, okay.
but you have to watch it. It's only like 30 minutes long. It premiered before. Um, it premiered during Empire Strikes Back, and all the British movies had like a little mini movie before them, and then you'd have the featured presentation. I swear to
Wow.
God, this is
Okay.
real. So they have this great, amazing fantasy movie before Empire. You have to
I
watch it.
I I
You
I will. I'll
absolutely
have to
have
track it
to.
down. Yeah. The
Yeah, you could find it on YouTube for
oh, okay.
free.
Yeah. I'll
I
check it
mean,
out.
it's called yeah, yeah. It's called Black
Black
Angel.
Angel.
It's way up your alley.
I was just talking to a
Yeah.
Star Wars fan today, who hadn't heard of the Ewok movies, the two Ewok
Oh, what?
the two Ewok movies, and I said, well, like, look, if you're not one of those people that only likes the original trilogy, they're a lot of fun. They're kids movies. And a
You
lot of the
know,
special effects were done by like Phil Tippett and the same guys that did the same people that did the other Star Wars movies. I think Frank Oz even worked on
this
it.
is this is kind of why like Comic Cons and physical media and even the DVD guy is kind of important because Disney's not giving a shit about the Ewok movie.
They were fun. There were
You
there
know
were
what I
two. It
mean?
was what Battle for Endor and what was the other one?
Yeah,
The Ewok Adventure.
I believe
Yeah.
so. I mean, I'm not saying these are like the greatest movies ever,
No, they're not. They're
But
not. But if
like,
you like that universe and you want to see something from that era that has the look of those, like that era of
yeah,
movie, that's what they are, and they're kids movies. So it's not. They're not trying to say like, if you're someone who takes their Star Wars uber seriously, you probably will be like, these are terrible. But
yeah, right. But like, I mean, would I rather watch the Ewok movie than the new Star Wars movies coming out? Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
think I've seen all of the new stuff. I haven't seen any of the Disney Plus stuff, so I can't speak to any of that stuff.
Right, right. It, you don't have to worry so much about that.
I mean, the one take that I have with new stuff that apparently bothers people. I saw the Han Solo movie and I was like, it was fine. It was not terrible.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
all right.
fine. You're like, how can you say that?
Why? Are people having a war over the Han Solo movie?
People get mad when you don't condemn that one. Yeah, yeah. Like the collective mind
No,
says, I have to
weird.
condemn that one.
Of all the things you can goddamn condemn in that series, I can't help but feel like that's the one that
That's the hill you're gonna die on.
that's the one that seems like the most. That seems
It's just an adventure flick. It's just don't overthink it.
yeah, right. I'm sorry, you can't make Harrison Ford 25 again.
What
Like,
do you mean,
I,
Jay?
I'm just saying, like,
Martha says there was an animated Ewok series in the 80s. That's true. And
oh yeah,
the
right.
comic book was actually drawn by Marie Severin, the Ewok one, and then the Droids comic was actually drawn by Ernie Cologne, both terrific artists. Marie Severin, for those that don't know, was the art director and person who editorially worked at EC Comics, then was at Marvel for a million years, did Not Brand Ech comics, and like her ability to caricature was just off the charts. And she also illustrated, you know, Cull, the Incredible Hulk. She did all kinds of stuff. She's just a super talented
Mm,
artist. And Ernie actually did do. I corresponded with Ernie back in the day, and he did a Axe of Helena pinup for me that was in one of our prior issues. And he did stuff for Harvey Comics for a million years. If you're familiar with like Richie Rich and all those types of comics, he drew those for a very, very long time. And then when he was even drawing them in the 90s when they were doing like the Beetlejuice comics at Harvey. And he worked at, he did Magnus Robot Fighter, he did Heavy Metal Magazine, he did, all kinds of like superhero stuff, John Carter, Warlord of Mars at Marvel in the 70s. So like both of these people did a ton.
honest work if you can get it.
They both did a ton of books. And again, we were talking about early on, like the workhorses of comics. Like if you were to look at the comic vine
Yeah,
for like both of these people, just thousands of comics, thousands.
it's great that like they're so flexible they can get lost in the shuffle so
Yeah,
easily.
and that's not a
But
new thing. Like
they can become
it's a lot easier as an artist if you have just one look. Like if you just do, your typical adventure style. It's a lot tougher for people to like, necessarily know your work if you're able to do, animated, and you're able to do serious, and you're able to do like all the different types of stuff.
isn't that the biggest catch 22 though? Because you're kind of limiting your career, or you're going to have a career where nobody will know what your style actually is.
I found with my own stuff like that's something that affected me because like when I would do cartoonier stuff like with the animated adventures and on the Tick, like then you would see, and even Undersea Hero is more in that vein. But then when you would see I would do, a painted piece or something a little more serious, people, would be like, "Wow, you can draw." It's like, well, I can draw, but when I can I can draw, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
decided to draw this a little differently, you know.
yeah. Right, right. Like But
And it makes it
as I said,
harder
that's
for
like
editors to assign you to stuff sometimes. And I've heard this from many other artists where it's like if they know what you do and they can quantify you easily, they can throw stuff at you more easily. If they can't nail it down as like, oh well, you draw like this, it makes it harder for them to picture you on a book.
it's like Shelley and Braden. You know, they had so many good mini books out, and then they get stuck on Adventure Time for like 15 issues, and it's Adventure Time.
Yeah. No, and they're both
It's
tremendously versatile artists who can draw anything.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But nobody knows that because they're drawing basically like Bean World over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Is
Shelley
that
and
too deep of a
Braden,
reference?
for people who don't know us or know, Shelley and Braden are regional artists in our region who drew Adventure Time, won Eisner Awards for it, but they are also just tremendous. It's Braden Lamb and Shelley. Did she take his last name?
I can't remember, honestly.
I can't.
I haven't talked to him in a
Yeah.
while. But yeah, that's such a friggin' pain in the ass because like they're really good. They've done great work
Of course.
outside of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like they're known for something that looks overly simplistic, I guess. And I don't want to be rude about it.
It's I guess
But
the
you know,
a more favorable term would be deceptively simple.
yeah. I didn't want to be rude and downgrade or
No, I think we're both praising them, and we just
right. I definitely don't want to make it sound like they're phoning it
no,
in
not at all.
by any
No, no,
means.
no.
They're great.
Like I said, they
Okay, I just wanted to clear the
yeah,
air.
no, they won the Eisner Award. So
Yeah, right.
well,
Yeah,
hey,
I
you made
mean,
it through page 51. How about that?
hey,
This is
hey, E, listen, I got to get going because I'm kind of coming down
yeah. We're
here.
gonna wrap it up.
So,
It's 9:17. So we'll call it a night. Jay, thanks for hopping on. It was great chatting with you.
thanks for having me. It kind of improv here. I can't wait to hang out with you at Little Giants. If anybody's going, I'm going to be doing some fun stuff on my end too. I have some fun books for sale and all that, and yeah, let's catch up. Let's do
Yeah.
something.
Thanks, Jay. I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey, that was nice. Change of pace. Jay and I have known each other forever, and we've done a million shows together. So you got to see a little bit of like what it's like to sit behind the table with Jay. And we are serious. We are talking about doing like a late night 30-minute podcast kind of thing of just us goofing off like that. So it's not, it won't be for kids, but it won't be it will be adequately labeled as such. I can put it that way. Um, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. But here's our piece. And yeah, there's a couple of sketch covers I did. There's that one. And there's the tick. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Like Jay said, we'll be at the Little Giants show this weekend. It's in Concord at the Everett Arena on Saturday, and I think it's from 10 to 4. But I put the link in the description. You can check out the website, see all the amazing artists, and support some really awesome stuff. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see you all next week. Thank you again. Good night.